Hey guys, welcome to the 1K special. I hope you enjoy. This is a multi-character X-listener. I hope you enjoy. This became a multi-character X-listener because I didn't know which character I wanted to do for that 1K, so I decided to do a lot of them. So I hope you enjoy, and yeah, I hope you enjoy the video. And thank you again for 1K. That was really impressive. Thank you so much. I don't deserve it, but thank you and enjoy the video. You and Kaminari have been dating for 3 months. It's been perfect. It's been the best relationship you ever had. You guys were in the mall with the Baku squad, but thanks to Mina, they decided to leave you guys alone so you guys can have alone time. You were going to stores, going to a food court, and right now you guys were getting ice cream. When all of a sudden, you see someone you didn't want to see. Your ex. Let's just say your relationship didn't end the best. So, when he saw you, his eyes widened. But immediately, he got a smirk in his face. You knew he was no good business, so you decided to turn your way and go another place with your boyfriend. But your ex was too fast and said, "Hey, Yuan!" You turned around and said, "What do you want?" Your ex looked down at you and said, "Well, I just wanted to see how this amazing girl's doing." Receiving a glare from your boyfriend. Denki intervened. Dude, I don't know what do you want with my girlfriend, but back off. You never told Denki how your last relationship ended, but you didn't want to talk about the subject. And also, Denki didn't know who your ex was. Your ex looked up at your boyfriend and said, "Well, Yuan, you replaced me so quickly, and you certainly did a downgrade." You glared at your ex and said, "First of all, Denki is better than ever you were. Second of all, I love him, and he's a good person compared to you, so you can now go bye-bye." Your ex's face turned into a confident smile to an angry look. Denki then held you close and said, "Dude, Yuan is all mine now. You had your shot, you lost it. Now she's all mine, and you cannot do anything about it." Then Denki leaned down to you to kiss you. You guys kissed for a while, and then looked back at your ex and said, "Dude, me and my beautiful girlfriend are gone. Let's go, Yuan. Don't want to waste time talking to people like him." You nodded and gave another kiss to your boyfriend. When you guys were far away from your ex, Denki pulled you close and gave you a hug, and he said in your ear, "Yuan, never forget that you're only mine, and I'm always gonna treat you right, no matter what, okay?" You nodded your head and gave him another kiss, but this one was longer, and you knew that this was the best relationship you ever had. You and Bakugou have been dating over a year. You guys always have a date each Friday. Today, you guys were at a cinema, and everything seemed perfect. You were watching a horror movie because Katsuki loved them, and you loved him, so you always wanted to make him happy. You guys were eating popcorn, and then you felt someone tap your shoulder. When you turned around, your face widened. It was your ex. Your ex and you were not in bad terms, but not in good terms either. You just avoided each other. But suddenly he's here, and he's talking to you. "Hey Yuan, how are you?" He starts checking you out, and he said, "Damn, you are sure getting cuter and hotter every time I see you, don't you?" He received a glare from Katsuki. He was a jealous boyfriend. I think the most jealous boyfriend that could exist in this world was him. He looked back at the dude and said, "Extra, go away. She's taken. Can't you see?" He held your hand. The expression your ex had was hilarious. He said, "Oh, Yuan, you have a boyfriend. Well, let me introduce. I'm unisex, and obviously I'm better than you, so you can leave me and Yuan now and go say bye. Katsuki was furious. You were about to speak, but he spoke first and said, "Okay, asshole, I don't know who you think you are, but Yuan is mine. If you don't get that, go away because she loves me and I love her. So, you can go. You had your shot and you lost it. So now you can come back and try to hit on her. So, go away. Yuan's mine." You were a blushing mess. Bakugou doesn't usually tell people he loves you or does anything affectionate in public. Then he leaned in and gave you a kiss. Then he glared back at your ex. He said, "Go away, extra." Then you guys started walking into the movie. For your luck, your ex was watching the same movie and was certainly in the row in front of you. Katsuki thought it was a great idea to make your ex go jealous and mad. He started tickling you and giving you kisses. Your ex clearly noticed and got mad. He left the movie when it was at the middle because he couldn't bear seeing you so happy with another guy. When he was done, Katsuki leaned in and gave you a long kiss and said, "Yuan, I know I'm not the best boyfriend, and I know sometimes I act like an asshole, but I love you, and I will never treat you wrong." You put your hand in his cheek and said, "I know, Katsuki, I love you too. I'm always gonna be with you, don't worry. You're a nice guy." He gave you another kiss, and he gave you a hickey for everyone to know you were his and only his. Kirishima and you have been dating for 5 months, and everything seems perfect. He treats you like a princess and always takes care of you. You guys were in a school field trip, and you and Kirishima were being all a lovey-dovey couple. That's why your friends left you guys alone. They didn't want to die from an overdose of sweetness. The school took you to a museum, and Kirishima and you were seeing some exhibits when you bumped into someone. You were going to say sorry until you saw a familiar face. It wasn't like you and your ex were in bad terms. The contrary, you guys were friends. But his face was mad when he saw Kirishima. You stand up and said, "Oh hey, how are you?" Your ex looked back at you and said, "Hey Yuan, I'm fine. And who is your friend?" You held Kirishima's hand and said, "Well, this is my boyfriend, Kirishima Idiro. And Kirishima, this is my ex. We are still friends, don't worry." Kirishima smiled at the dude, but when he saw the expression your ex had, his smile turned into a glare. Your dude said, "Oh, so this is your new boyfriend." You nodded, and he said, "Well, Yuan, I thought we could get back together, but if you have a boyfriend, and you could break up with him, you know?" You look at your ex with a confused face. You thought he had moved on. You said, "You're funny, but I'm happy with my relationship. Thank you so much for the offer, though, but I love my boyfriend." The face he had was hilarious because he seemed very mad. Kirishima then said, "I don't know you, but I really love Yuan, and you cannot break us. She's gonna be my wife one day, so you should give her a rest, because no one's gonna take this beautiful princess away from me." Your ex had a disgusted face, but just turned around and went to meet his class. You and Kirishima hugged, and he said, "Yuan, if that dude ever talks to you again, I'm gonna kill him. And I know I sound like Bakugou right now, but I don't like dudes like him near my girlfriend." You giggled and gave him a kiss on the cheek and said, "Don't worry, I'm all yours." You and Sero were only dating for 1 month. Your relationship was very new, but you guys loved each other very much. You guys were gonna have a combined training with another school, another hero school. which wasn't very popular actually, but UA still accepted to have a joint training class. When the class arrived, Ira introduced the classes, and you were guys talking in your friend groups, but suddenly you felt strong arms carry you. You thought it was Sero, but when you saw the face of the person, you didn't expect it. You said, "Wait, what are you doing here?" Jurex smiled and said, well, I came from the combined training class, and I'm so surprised to see you here. You got into UA, congratulations. He put you down and you guys hugged. Jurex and you were friends, and everything was actually fine. You said, hey, well, I'm glad to see you. Then you felt someone grabbed your waist and pulled you into them. It was your boyfriend, Sero. You said, hey babe, this is my ex. I wanted to introduce you. Your ex smiled at your new boyfriend and said, you also have a boyfriend. I have a girlfriend now, but she's not in this school. She's in another. One day you should meet her. You're gonna love her. You nodded your head, and he told you, well, how'd you guys meet? You explained that you guys met in school, and you were just started dating. Well, he said, well, you and I have to go. It was a pleasure seeing you again. And he said, what's your name, Sero, right? Well, a pleasure, dude. Sero nodded in agreement. He said, yes, it was a pleasure. Jarex walked away, and then Sero started kissing you, and you said, you were jealous, weren't you? Sero nodded, and continued, I don't like people touching my girlfriend. You are my girlfriend, and you are my star, so never like people touching you. And how are you guys still friends? You continued, well, Sero, our relationship didn't end in bad terms. We didn't like each other anymore, and that was it. We're still friends. He kissed you again and said, well, you're mine now. You and Tamaki have been dating since your second year of high school. You guys really love each other and will never change each other for anything in the world. Tamaki knew you had an ex, but he didn't know who he was. You never liked to speak about the matter, since you thought the past should stay in the past. But you guys were walking to the streets one night and you bumped into someone. When you see that person, you see your ex. You didn't want to talk to them, but he started. Hey beautiful, how have you been? You look up at him and said, I'm fine, well, I need to go. He grabbed your wrist and said, where are you going, beautiful? You can stay a little longer. Then he looked at your boyfriend and said, who's your friend? You said, he's my boyfriend Tamaki, and we need to go now. Your ex stopped and said, you like this one, this guy. Oh my god, Joanne, you did such a down great. You weren't gonna speak, but Tamaki interrupted you and said, hey, Yuan wants to go, and leave her alone. I don't know who do you think you are, but Yuan is my girlfriend, and you cannot change that, so we're gonna go. You were proud of Tamaki. He doesn't usually like speaking to people. Your ex interrupted and said, I'm Yuan's ex-boyfriend, and you should go. Me and Yuan should start talking to get back together. You slapped your ex and said, listen here, I'm happy with Tamaki, so go away, I don't want to see you. He tried to grab both of your wrists, but Tamaki stopped him and said, touch Yuan one more time and I'm not gonna be nice. Go away, she wants to go. You felt so happy that Tamaki left his nerves to protect you. Your ex started running away, and Tamaki leaned in and kissed your cheek and said, Yuan, I'm sorry, I got a little aggressive there. You gave him a kiss in response. Don't worry, Tamaki, you did it to protect me. You were so cute. He became a blushing mess, and you couldn't be happier with your relationship. You and your boyfriend, Midoriya, were hanging out of his place. You guys have been dating for about 6 months now, and you guys were very happy. You were watching movies, and you decided to order a pizza. When the pizza arrived and you opened the door, you saw a familiar face. You said, oh my gosh, what are you doing here? Your ex-boyfriend spoke. Hey Yuan, nice to see you. I'm here to bring you a pizza. It's been a long time since middle school, hasn't it? You agreed with him and said, well, if you're gonna eat these pigs alone, I just got free from my shift. Maybe I could come in and we can cuddle and eat the pizza together. You gave a confused look to your ex, but before you could answer, you felt two arms wrap around your waist and a head leaning your neck and said, hey Yuan, you know that person? You nodded your head and said, yeah, Izuku, this is my middle school ex. Izuku looked up at the other male and said, hey, Izuku Midoriya, I'm Yuan's new boyfriend. He gave a smile to the guy. Your ex didn't say anything. He felt so stupid. Obviously, you had a new boyfriend. You were such a pretty girl. He gave you the pizza and said to Izuku, if you ever hurt her, I'm gonna hurt you. She's a precious girl. Don't waste her like I did. Izuku responded, I know she's perfect. That's why I'm in love with her. You don't need to worry. Your ex waved you goodbye after you guys paid for the pizza. You hugged Izuku and you guys landed on the couch. And you said, Izuku, don't worry. I'm always gonna be with you. He gave you a smile and pulled you closer to him and said, Yuan, I know. I love you with all my heart. I love you too, Izuku. Todoroki was just heading to your school to pick you up because you guys had a date. You were in a different school than your boyfriend. When he saw you, he waved to you and you ran to your boyfriend's arms. You wrapped your arms around his neck and gave him a kiss. After you guys pulled away, he said, hello, my love, how are you? You smiled at your boyfriend and said, I'm fine, how was your day? It was boring as always, Yuan, because you weren't there. You giggled, and before you guys could walk, someone tapped your shoulder. You turned around and saw your ex. You hadn't spoken with him after the breakup that was about a year ago. You said, oh hey, how are you? He hung his head low and said, Yuan, can we talk? I was wondering if we could get back together. He didn't notice Todoroki standing next to you. Before you could speak, Todoroki said, I'm sorry, but Yuan is taken. Your ex looked up to see Todoroki. He recognized him from the sports festival and he didn't want to mess with him. He said, oh, sorry, I didn't know you had a new boyfriend. I apologize. You said, oh, don't worry. Well, Sero and I need to go now. But it was a pleasure speaking to you, I guess. Then Sero and you turned around and started walking off. Todoroki was silent all the way to your house. He was mad, jealous, and he didn't want you to speak with that guy ever again. When you got to your house, you said, Sero, you can come in my house. I want to talk, and I'm gonna make some tea. He nodded his head, and you guys entered. When you entered the house, you leaned in closer to Sero and gave him a kiss. The kiss became a makeout session, and it took a couple of minutes. When you guys pulled away, you said, Sero, don't be jealous. I don't like when you're jealous. I don't like my ex anymore. He is just another guy, and you're the love of my life. Please don't be mad. He chuckled and said, I love you too, Yuan. Always will trust you, and yeah, you are my life too, so I will never let you go. You guys had a wonderful afternoon drinking tea and watching some old movies.